One of the largest industries in Southern California is the travel and tourism industry. Last year, tourism created over 500,000 jobs and contributed $36 billion to the Los Angeles economy. Those days are over. The tourism industry in California has been crippled and it's going to have a difficult time coming back. This is painfully evident in Venice Beach. As the second largest tourist attraction in the Los Angeles area, it drew over 10 million tourists last year. As of February 2020, we can see why. We see the funky Venice boardwalk. It's world famous for its artsy atmosphere, open-air sidewalk cafes, unique gift shops, and bohemian hotels. Bike paths line the vast sandy beach. The large beachfront recreation center has a world-famous skate park, basketball and tennis courts, and the iconic Muscle Beach. It was the epitome of the healthy California lifestyle. Tourists flock to the beautiful gardens and homes along the peaceful Venice canals, and to stroll out onto the Venice Pier and take in the fresh open air. That all came to an end in March 2020. On March 18th, California Governor Gavin Newsom ordered all restaurants to close due to the coronavirus outbreak. 2 days later, all Californians were ordered to remain in their homes for a 2-week quarantine to slow the spread. And a few days after that, the beaches were closed. 2 weeks became several months. It wasn't until mid-July that the beaches began to reopen. Under Governor Newsom's plan, the lockdowns have been needlessly restrictive and prolonged. California was the first state to order full lockdown and is among the last to start easing restrictions. According to Google data, California residents followed the lockdown orders better than any other state. Yet according to a July 22nd article in Forbes, California had the highest number of coronavirus cases in the nation after the initial lockdowns ended. Except for lifeguards patrolling to keep the beaches shut down, the vast open beaches were deserted. The boardwalk was deserted. All shops, restaurants, and hotels along the boardwalk were shut down. Restaurants, which were among the first to be allowed to reopen, found themselves operating at a fraction of capacity due to the restrictions. Unable to cover basic operating costs, it's predicted that 30% of the restaurants will permanently go out of business. Of course, most businesses had to shut down. This resulted in the highest unemployment since the Great Depression, and in a homeless population nearly twice the size of what it was in February 2020. For the most part, the beaches, boardwalk, and shops had reopened by August, with heavy restrictions in place. But the tourists that came were in for a shock. The world-famous Venice Beach was now famous as the new Skid Row. Thanks to the damage caused by lockdowns, Venice Beach has been transformed from a top tourist attraction to one of the largest homeless encampments in California. The entire town of Venice is covered with the tents of the homeless, and the funky boardwalk is a miles-long homeless encampment. If restrictions on travel were to end today, California would have a difficult time reviving its tourism industry. The fall of Venice and the other key tourist attractions that have suffered a similar fate has captured the attention of the international travel publications. They now have this to say about visiting California: find another place to enjoy your vacation. Most of us intuitively thought the lockdowns were uncalled for. We were convinced against our better judgment they would save lives and we followed instructions. Instead, they utterly destroyed the lives of healthy people. There is little evidence that the lockdowns improved outcomes at all, but there's overwhelming and very visible evidence they utterly ruined the lives of far too many people. Perhaps when we learn to trust our own eyes, judgment, and common sense above what the mainstream media tells us to think, we can return California to the beautiful state that it once was.